Alright, 2018, since we decided to go abroad to work. During our deal, we decided to go adventure. We don't wait memories to come. We make them. Saan man kami mabadbad. Ang mahalaga, ligtas ang bawat isa. So, this is Bing, our photographer. This is Faith, our little... And this is Kimchi. And this is Ling. And ako, Turoge in Hong Kong, Gretchen. And we are Jumbo's team. Be one of us.
Nam Sang Wai aerial view.
Nam Sang Wai has been beloved amongst city dwellers, looking for a breath of fresh air and a change of scenery. So, accustomed to asphyxiating narrow roads and towering buildings, Nam Sang Wai and its vast, lowland features can seem out of place. But it is routinely the place to go for just that, and much more. A day spent at the wetland just north of Yuen Long can look like many things, depending on which type of naturalist you are, making this the perfect family outing spot with an activity for every person. A pair of binoculars to begin your vocation as a bird watcher. With so much to do, here's the Localiiz field guide to brush up. History of Nam Sang Wai. Both Yuen Long and Nam Sang Wai were once native mangrove swamps. But the agricultural boom of the early 20th century, wherein paddy fields and Gai Wai fishpond were farmed, led to the loss of the area's biodiversity, eventually forming the large wetland it is now. In more recent years, Nam Sang Wai has had a particularly tumultuous history plagued by hill fires and development disputes. On ahead of your expedition to Nam Sang Wai, an important stopover site for migrating birds, this wetland has great ecological value, but revenue-minded developers are racing to place property building before protection. For this reason, conservationists and developers have long been in a battle over Nam Sang Wai, the former petitioning to keep it as a leisure space to be enjoyed by the public, and the latter wanting to give way to golf courses, shopping complexes, and commercial fishing ponds. Fights over Nam Sang Wai erupted in 2018, when back-to-back fires broke out, raising suspicion that these fires were deliberately orchestrated to lower the ecological value of the conservation site. Beyond being one of Hong Kong's wonders of nature, Nam Sang Wai and its surrounding regions are also the home of several indigenous villages and have therefore been a buffer territory. However, by 2018, residents were told to evacuate to make room for government public housing plans. It's clear that places like the wetland can be incredibly important. No doubt, it's the reason that even in our vacation-deprived times, Hong Kong is still able to offer wanderlust that parallels international travel. How to get there? You can reach Nam Sang Wai by foot, bus, taxi, and even by bicycle. There are a few different options on how to get there, depending on your preference. If you're in the market for some exercise, no matter which part of Hong Kong you are coming from, you will need to reach Yuen Long first, the closest major transportation hub. From Central, take the Tung Chung line to Nam Chiang Station, interchange to the Tuen Ma line to Yuen Long Station exit G2. At the Yoho Mall bus stop, take either bus 76K or minibuses 36, 37, 38, 75, and 76. Alight a Hong Mo Kiew bus stop and walk along Nam Sang Wai Road.
Nam Sang Wai aerial view.